Alrighty, everybody. Here we are. We're right in far northern Iowa near the Minnesota-Iowa border. And this chase is about to get going here. Give me just 1 minute, guys, and then I'm going to get this chase going here. Let me make sure everything's good on this end. Time to get east. Time to get north and east here. So I honestly have been in a rush today. I got here just in time. I don't even have my camera set up, but we'll make it work. But here we are. I'm near the Iowa-Minnesota border. Apparently there's a tornado watch that's about to get issued here, so we'll see. Apparently there's a tornado watch coming very soon for us. This road is very, very bumpy, but yeah, we got storms starting to sprout here, so I got to get up on these things. We're a little bit maybe behind. Got to Adams. Got to get to Adams here. These storms aren't moving too quickly here, so I'm just a little bit behind. There's more storms forming to the west, so I don't know if these ones to the east are going to be the ones or if the ones to the west are going to be the ones, but we have multiple storms forming here. And guys, the tornado threat really hasn't gotten going yet, but it will get going here in the next hour. If models are right, we'll have stuff getting going in the next hour, but I'm really only there's some clustering right here. I'm not really sure which one of these storms are going to be the ones here, but we'll see. I'm not really too sure. But I am pretty high on today. I think today is a pretty solid tornado setup, especially for this area. And I'm pretty high on it. We'll have to see how it goes. I'm absolutely exhausted. I've been busy all week, and after that crazy North Dakota chase on Friday, after that crazy chase, I ended up getting to my family vacation down in Oklahoma for a couple of days, and then was down at the family vacation for a couple of days, saw all my family, and then I'm right back out here, up in the North Plains. So I guess this is more of kind of the Midwest, but kind of the northern part of the U.S., because we're all the way almost up by Minnesota. So I'm going to be blasting my way east, just in case the storms to my east end up being the storms that I want to be on. I want to get east onto these storms, but it's possible that we end up having to blast back west if these storms are not it. Down back towards Mason City or Forest City, but we'll just have to see. I'm not 100% sure right now. All these storms are kind of just now getting going, and it's kind of hard to say here. It's kind of hard to say, but unknown connection here. That's not good. Lights back. little bit hit and miss, but it's really not horrible, so it's all right. The chase terrain is pretty good as well. I mean, there are some spots, but it's not bad. It's really not bad. Up towards Rochester, if we get over there at all today, it'll get significantly worse, but I'm not sure we get over there or not. I don't know. If this storm is the one, then yeah, we probably would. But it seems like the chasers are kind of split between this one and then... Man, this road is horrible. There's so many bumps here. This road is completely awful. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, chat. Welcome in, guys. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to stream the tornado chases that we had in Canada and North Dakota, but I will have some YouTube videos posted on those pretty soon here. Maybe by tonight, I'll have one of them out. We're just blasting north and east right now. We're in the town of Manly. We're literally in the town of Manly, Iowa. Wow, Manly, huh? What a name for a town to have. We're going another 2.5 miles north, and then we will also turn back. Some point. I don't know if it's this storm up here. I don't know if this storm up here is going to be the one or not, but I want to keep it in play because it could be it. It doesn't take much. It just takes a couple of these mergers, and then, you know, lo and behold, you get tornadoes. But it's not going to take a lot today, guys. We're not going to have really big, robust storms today, and it's not going to take a lot to get tornadoes. I do think anything to the east is probably going to be the better play, in my opinion, today, because you do have a little bit better backing of the winds just off to the east. It's not a huge difference, but on days like today, it can make the difference. And then tomorrow, we have a setup right in the same spot. Southeast Minnesota, western Wisconsin, and it's a little bit to the east of here. The setup tomorrow, so we might have to worry about terrain issues a little bit more tomorrow, but we could have another setup literally right here tomorrow, so we'll see on that one. That one might not be as good, but as today, and today might not be as good. Who knows? I don't know what's going to happen today. I'm pretty confident on today. Like I've said, I think that today has a pretty solid shot at tornadoes, and I really like the environment. I wasn't planning on chasing today, and like I said, it took me a lot to get up here, so the fact that I even went up here to chase just, you know, does say that at least I think the setup is pretty good for tornadoes. And the Storm Prediction Center only had a 2%, but apparently they've upgraded it to 5%. I don't know. I have to look at that, but apparently it's got upgraded to 5% tornado risk. So once we get an established mesocyclone on these storms, and they can start to take advantage of that low-level spin, I think we'll get some tornadoes out of these. I have a decent feeling today. tornado watch has been issued for Mason City, Mankato, Fairmont, Rochester, Austin, La Crosse. Tornado watch has been issued for all of these areas, and that's kind of a surprise because I'm not surprised. I think there should be a tornado watch, but I'm a little bit surprised they issued it because they had originally only had a 2% tornado risk. It wasn't even that big of a risk. Here in 2 miles, I'm going to turn north, and I'm going to go north for a little bit while, and then we will shoot back to the east towards Adams. We're very. I see the spotter dots out here. We're very close to Michael Mars. So usually if you're close to Michael Mars, then you're in the right spot. Michael Mars is one of the best chasers up here in this kind of part of the country. Up here in Minnesota, North Iowa, the Dakotas. Michael Mars is a veteran chaser up here in this neck of the woods. So if I'm right next to Michael Mars, then I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot. So the tornado, I don't know if you guys saw the video, but we had a tornado, or the live stream, but we had that tornado in Minnesota about 10 days ago now. It's been about 10 days up there in central Minnesota, and Michael Mars was actually just right next to us. He was a little bit to the west of us, but he was very close to that tornado as well. He had a different vantage point than we did. But yeah, if I'm ever up in Iowa, Minnesota, the Dakotas, Wisconsin, if I'm up in this part of the country and I'm close to Michael, then I know that I'm probably doing something right. But I think these storms here are going to get going here soon, and they're really not going to take much. They might look very. They're going to look very. These storms will look very. What's the word I'm looking for? They're going to look very tame. That's the word. They're going to look very tame on the weather radar. But then whenever they... so they'll look very small, and they won't look that bad on their weather radar. They won't even have that much of a velocity. There's our storm right there. That's what we're watching, is that over there. So those clouds over there is what we're watching. And it doesn't look like much right now, but these things can change. If a couple of these storms are able to cluster together, then I wouldn't be surprised to see some tornadoes happen today. But like I was saying, these storms aren't going to look very impressive on the radar. Impressive, that's the word I wanted. They're not going to look impressive on the radar, but I've seen this story before. These will not have very strong mesocyclones on velocity, but they'll be putting out tornadoes, probably small tornadoes. They'll be putting out smaller tornadoes because they're smaller storms, and we'll see how things progress. I don't love that it's not very sunny here. It's very moist. I'd like to see a little bit of sunshine come out to maybe help with those low-level lapse rates a little bit. The mid-level lapse rates are pretty bad. I think the low-level lapse rates are pretty solid today, but there's not a ton of sunshine up here, so that could definitely be a factor that plays into today possibly having a failure mode if it does. But I do like how the winds are backed up here, and they're not as backed in to the farther to the west in Iowa, and I've learned that lesson before. Yeah, but those mid-level temperatures are very warm, so there's not a ton of cape, and right now there's not a ton of low-level jet right now. I wonder if that's also being forecast not as good as it's, or I also wonder if that's not as good as its forecast. So we'll see. I'm not really sure right now. I think, I think I'd like to see some storms fire a little bit further to the south and get going, but I do like how the winds are backed here. Well, we have some supercells trying to get going to the south now, so I wonder if those ones are it. So the good thing is we can always get south very easily because they'll be coming. We can always get south and west easily, but if we want to get east onto these storms, we can't do that. So oh, that might have been Michael Marson right there where we just passed. So, but we can't get to the west easy, so I want to try to hedge these storms and get on these ones first. And then if we have to, which we may, we'll probably hedge back west. We have a little shower developing on us right now. So service. Should. Guys, I think it might be the storms firing to our south are the ones that we got to watch. I wonder if it's the storms to our south or to our west, the ones that we need to watch. I don't think these ones look as good right here. So I do wonder if it's just to the south or to the west. These look kind of, the environment up here looks kind of stable. It looks a little bit stable right now. I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. But these storms off to our west and even southwest, these storms are off where that blue dot to the east of Lake Mills, and these storms to our west, southwest, look a lot more robust than these ones right here. But if it would have ended up being these ones up here, and I stuck down here, then I wouldn't have been able to catch these. So that's why I kind of followed these east, because it's way easier for me to get back to the southwest. So right now I'm kind of thinking that that's going to be the play. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to turn around and go to the southwest here. Okay, someone says there's a nice lowering on this storm to the southwest. Yeah, there's probably already a meso too. Let me take one more look at the meso scale analysis and make my final decision. But guys, I'm like 90% sure I'm about to turn around here, because these ones up here aren't going to get it done, are they? There's a nice little surface low too up here. Okay, I do like some of the stuff that I see. 100 SRH, probably more than that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna turn around and go south, guys, and we'll be on we could be on a little mini supercell in the next like 10 minutes. But there's our storms that we're kind of keeping in play, and I really wasn't too sure about those ones. So I think we're gonna want to turn around here and get onto these other storms, and we'll have a nice little low-topped supercell here very soon. My windows are so foggy because there's so much moisture in the air here. If I open my windows for 1 second, though, here come the flies and the mosquitoes out here. But yeah, we're gonna turn around and go south. That's gonna be the play. Some more sun out down here. I think this makes sense, this target. All right, guys, here we go. I think we're gonna have our storm of the day here soon. I think our storm of the day is forming here soon. So, FYI, storm of the day may be coming here soon. And if this isn't the storm of the day down here, then we can always recover back to the west. But I think this guy near Mason City, right here, this guy near Mason City, I think that's the storm of the day here. So I think that'll be the one. That's what my gut tells me. So I'm gonna go with the gut here. Obviously the ones to the north were not it, but we had to follow them just in case. Yeah, so the setup might have actually shifted just slightly farther south than we maybe initially would have had thought. But our storm is off over there. That's where our storm would be, guys. It's off over there. But if you're just tuning in, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. The action has not quite started yet, but I think we're getting there. I think we're close. I don't think we're too far off. My connection out here is pretty solid, so for the I should have internet to hold the stream at least 90% of the time. There is going to be that percentage of the time where I don't, and I'm not able to hold internet, but it should be relatively good out here with these farmland. This farmland out here, and it's decently populated at the very least. So what's up, Michael? How's it going? Shout out to my uncle in here, Michael. How's it going? What's up, Brayton, Dean, Florence, Extreme Lightning Handler, Kyle, Cindy, Helga. How's it going? Running Reb, Linda. Hope everybody's having a great, Wednesday afternoon here. We got the sun. We also have the sun shining out by these storms, and those storms that I was trying to follow to the north, I call them storms. They weren't really storms, but the cells to the north that I was trying to follow, those ones, there wasn't much sun peeking through, so I was a little bit worried about maybe the low levels weren't going to be unstable enough. But out here, there's a little bit more sun on this storm here peeking through. You can see the sun up if I pan the camera. You can probably see the sun way up there, but a little bit more sun peeking through here. So that's what I kind of like to see on a day like today. I'm actually going to go a little bit farther south so I don't run into a bunch of trees. But there's some spotty trees out here and some tree lines and a couple of rivers, but it's relatively flat. Once we get a little bit to the northeast, which we might eventually today get a little bit to the northeast, once we get up there, the terrain will get a little bit more hilly. The terrain will get more hilly, but it's not bad until you start to get over to far southeastern Minnesota. Then it kind of gets more hilly because you get a little bit closer to that Mississippi. Get a little bit closer to the Mississippi River there. I got the fly outside of my car without inviting a new one, and so it's always a W. But hope everybody's doing good. If you're in the chat, let me know where you're tuned in from. I'd love to know where you guys are watching from. Usually we have viewers all around the country, and sometimes even international. I'm sure whenever I was chasing Canada, we had some international people tuned in. But I could see myself back in Canada in the next couple of weeks here. But I think this storm is going to be the one. It's very, very low topped. Look, there's the top of the storm right there. This is very low topped. It's maybe 15, 20,000 feet tall right now, maybe a little taller. But this is kind of what we expected today. So we expected these lower topped storms here, and it's 31,000 feet. So I'm not giving this storm enough credit. It's actually 31,000 feet here. So I should have given this one a little bit more credit. But we're going to kind of head down towards Mason City, and then we'll find a spot to kind of sit and watch the storm as it comes in. We'll probably get some rain, and if we need to, we're going to want to adjust west as well. There's another storm that's firing to our west, and that's one that we're going to need to watch. Okay, this creek right here has already kind of this creek right here has gotten some good flow to it, so it looks like they've gotten a lot of rain here recently. So it looks like they've gotten a lot of rain around this area. Like I said, all I need to do is be next to, I just need to be close to Michael Mars, and I'll probably see something good today. It's usually how it goes. But I'm headed back to Manly. What a name for a town, Manly, Iowa. Let's see how manly this storm is. I'm not too sure. It's gonna need I think it's gonna want to get a merger or some help. But man, if this storm can get a little bit of mass to it and it gets a merger or something, just watch out, guys. Watch out. It could do a tornado. I wouldn't even be shocked to see a strong tornado happen today. I'm serious. I would not be shocked to see a strong tornado happen today. This storm can get a merger on it, or if it can get some mass to it, then like I said, it's probably game on. It's right over oh gosh, what's the interstate? Is that 35 that goes north of Des Moines? I don't even know. Yeah, It's right over Clear Lake on 35 right now. And it's going to be headed just to the northwest, or I mean northeast, northwest of Mason City. Or it might even head, honestly, it might even head right over Mason City. But we're going to go through Manly here quick, and then we'll get into a better position to see it. I really don't think this thing is ready to produce a tornado yet. I think it has to get its act together. The environment is starting to get more capable of some tornadoes. So the environment is starting to get there, but I still want to give this a little bit more time. Like I said, those mid-level lapse rates are just absolutely terrible. They're not good. Those mid-level lapse rates are not good. So the lapse rates, that is, your lapse rates tells you how fast the air is cooling with height. So basically, the faster that the air is cooling with height, the more energy your storms have. The less the air is cooling with height, like today the air is pretty warm and it's not cooling with height. Obviously, you still have really cold air up in the sky to get storms, but the air is not as cold. It's not cooling with height, so the lapse rates are a little bit worse. And it's okay though. This is the kind of setup where your mid-level lapse rates don't need to be that good. Usually, you like to see them good, but if there is a setup where you don't need good lapse rates, it's one like today. It's today's kind of setup. This is the kind of setup where you really don't need any kind of fabulous lapse rates or anything like that to get things done. They will get done. Your storms will get tornadoes done because the bottom 2 to 3 miles of the atmosphere have very favorable wind shear, speed shear, directional shear, and thermodynamics. So that's what really matters, is the bottom of the atmosphere on a day like today, especially when your storms are only going to be 40,000 feet tall. 45,000 feet tall. Your storms aren't very tall, so you don't need a ton of energy anyway. But welcome to Manly, Iowa. Welcome to Manly, Iowa, and we'll see how manly our storm is able to get here. I was looking for maybe a gas station in this town to just fill up. I have about 80% of my gas tank full, so I should be okay. But I was looking just in case to see if there was one. There it looks like there's a Casey's right here, guys. I'm gonna go into this Casey's and I'm just gonna top off, because you never know. Oh, here's the Dom. The Dom is at this Casey's, so I might not want to go into the Casey's, but I just need to top off. So it's freaking busy. So we're not going to the Casey's because this is where the Dom is. You got Reed, and maybe we'll go say hi to Reed. I don't know. But this would be the time to do it. There's no one around though. But no, we're going to keep going down to the storm. But Reed's at that Casey's, so I'm not even going to try to stop. There's a bunch of cars there, probably. Bunch of cars there. Everyone's trying to see the Dom. I'm sure if you're a resident and the Dom rolls up to your small little Iowa town, you're probably like, wait, is something going on? Is there's some tornadoes that I'm supposed to be monitoring? And there's a decent amount of chasers out today, guys. It's nothing crazy. But there's a decent amount, and we gotta let these storms get a little bit more mature, because right now they're not doing it yet. So we gotta let these storms get a little bit more mature, and then we will see where things lie. But there's actually another cell right in front of me. You can see it literally right there in front of me, and we'll have to watch that one. And then I want to watch the one behind us. Ideally, from a storm chasing perspective, I want to see these cells merge together. I want to see them merge. They need to merge together and become one. And if that could happen, then I would be much more interested in tornado potential. But right now we're just going to sit here and kind of watch these cells here pop up. The lapse rates are a big issue for getting stuff going, but like I said, if you can get a storm going, the shear in the bottom 3 to 4 kilometers of the atmosphere are favorable. I'll show you guys here quick what I'm talking about. I want to talk about the wind shear. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. I'm trying to find a sounding near one of these storms here. But there's a lot of 3 Cape vorticity and low-level shear, so that's a very favorable combination. That's all you need to get. You don't need anything else to get tornadoes. That's literally all you need is low-level Cape, low-level wind shear, and that's it. Tornadoes really love the bottom 3 kilometers of the atmosphere. That's what they like. That's the sweet spot. If I can here, I'm going to find a little sounding to show you guys. So the environment in about an hour would look like this. Here's the photograph that I was talking about. See how there's kind of a loop? See how it kind of loops up and then back around? That looping is what makes those mesocyclones start to spin. That loop in that photograph is what makes your mesocyclones start to twist and start to spin, is that looping there. And so we're going to have to watch these storms to see if anything becomes dominant, because like I've said, if something becomes dominant, it's going to really try. I really have faith that if we get a dominant supercell, it's going to try hard. If we don't get a dominant supercell, then obviously it's not going to happen. But if we can, then I do think we'll see tornadoes. So, jury is still out. Jury is still out. Can we get a merger? Can we get a dominant supercell? We'll see. But welcome in, everybody. We're just starting to see if things are going to gear up here soon or not. But I really think the sweet spot today is probably 4 to 6 o'clock. I think 4 to 6 o'clock is a sweet spot. And I mean, of course, you could still have stuff 7, 8 o'clock. But I think 4 to 6 is a sweet spot here. So we should be starting to gear up in the next 30 minutes or so. I've seen these type of mini supercell days where you just have a cloud go up and it produces a tornado relatively quick. Let's see, guys. Where's everybody tuning in from? Hello from St. Louis, Galena, Kansas. I live about 5 minutes from Galena, Kansas. Where am I? I'm in Iowa. I'm in northern Iowa. You're in Mason City, I guess, Yorkshire. Just started downpouring in Mason City. Dialing in from Ramsey, Minnesota. Welcome in, Pam. If you're just new to the stream, make sure to like the stream. We're almost to 150 likes now. From Hawaii. Wow, it must be nice over there right now. Whenever I'd be chasing a blizzard and people would come in here and say they're from Hawaii, I'd get a little bit jealous. You live in the suburbs of Des Moines. I think, Marianne, it's going to be just to the north of you today. It's going to be more up towards, even Ankeny, it'll be a little bit to the north. The clouds in front of me look ominous. Yeah, this is the start of something bigger, but welcome everybody. You can even see the little windshield crack on the left of my windshield there. But these storms have work to do. I'll show you guys what the problem is with these storms here. So here's the issue right now for tornadoes. We have two cells. Look, you can see one. I'm right up here. But look, we have two cells. We have one cell, two cells. And the problem is these two cells on their own can't do much. There's just not enough energy for these two cells to really get going on their own. So what we need is these two cells to merge together. If these two cells can kind of merge into one, now we're talking and we're in business. If these two cells can't merge together, well, we're not going to be in business. And there actually might be a little bit of rotation. There's actually some rotation now right there. There's actually a little bit of rotation right there. So we're going to keep watching that spot. But the fact that these cells are almost nothing and they're already rotating is a good sign tornado-wise. But like I said, we need them to merge together. If these things merge, it's go time. It's go time if these things can go. So, like I said, it's to be determined here. But we even had a little bit of rotation, and we'll let these kind of pass over us, and I'm actually going to go park up on this road here. We'll see if these kind of pass. We'll let these kind of pass here. But there was a little bit of rotation right up in there. And it's not much, but I don't know which one of these two cells is going to be the cell that does something today, but we'll watch both of them. One is just to the west of Mason City, the other one's to the north. And we gotta see if these two cells can merge. If one of these cells can kind of turn a little bit more to the right, they could merge. They could. Very well could. We gotta be patient here. Patience is the key. While I'm sitting here, I'm going to set up my camera over here on the left. But guys, I'm planning to be out here as long as I need to. I might not go home for a couple weeks. Maybe I'll be home in a week. I'm not sure. You see there's a lowering right there. We're going to watch that lowering back there. And we're going to also watch the storm to the north. It's really just going to be we're really just going to have to watch the radar and see what spot becomes more dominant here. Just got to get this camera all set up here. We have a lowering up here. Not much of one. Now, where's my tape? Where's my duct tape? There we go. If we have tornadoes today, these are going to be the kind of tornadoes that we can intercept really close range. If we do get anything today, it'll be those kind of tornadoes that we can get very close to. So if we do get tornadoes today, guys, we'll be able to get right up next to them, which is what I like. But not a ton happening right now. We're just kind of watching the base of the storm. It's going to need, like I said, it's going to need a lot of help. It's going to need a lot of help here. These storms are not going to do it on their own. They're going to need help, so they're going to need a merger. So that a merger means two storms merging together, or they're going to need nudgers, which means storms that kind of push it from the backside and give it a little bit of a boost. So mergers and nudgers, that's what we need today. If we don't get those two things, then I don't expect any tornadoes to happen. But if we can get a merger or a nudger, then I think we'll be balling today. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But there's a little base to our storm right up here. We have multiple storms, and right now they're not looking too hot. One of them just went right over us, and then we have another one with a little lowering too. I can see the low-level jet. Those low-level clouds are really moving, and if one of these storms can get dominant, it's going to try to get a mesocyclone and produce. But right now, none of these storms are able to get dominant, so we're going to have to wait and see what happens here. We're going to have to wait this one out. Okay, here's what I'm looking at right now, guys, on radar. So we're right there, just to the north of Mason City, where that blue dot is. So look, you have these two storms right here. These two storms, like I said, they need to merge together, or one of these storms needs to become dominant or something of that matter. But look, see this? This is what I'm interested in. Look at this little merger. See the southern one right here, just by Mason City? Look at this guy. I'll show you guys this cell. Look at this little cell that popped up right there. Storm north of Mason City, or east, west of Mason City, and then look at that cell pop up. This cell could make this storm get bigger, and then this storm turns right, and it could do something. That would be a merger. That would be a merger coming into the storm. But there's actually a little tiny bit of rotation even drawing in front of me. But it's going to need work. It's going to need some work here. Guys, I'm sorry I don't have my good setup right now, but I'm sorry I don't have my good setup right now for my stream. I don't have the overlays and all that stuff. It's still a work in progress, and we have rotation a little bit of rotation right in front of us. Right there, literally right in front of us, we have a little bit of rotation. The fact that these are rotating like this and they're literally so weak just tells me how much spin is in the air. So, incredible how much spin is in the air. If these storms, like I've been saying, if these storms get a little bit of a boost, they'll produce just like that. And they're very low precipitation as well. Very, very, very low precipitation here. So we got a storm trying to spin right in front of us, although it doesn't have much help. So it's not going to be able to produce any kind of tornadic activity unless it gets a merger, or like I said, a nudger or something like that. But It is trying. It's going through the process of rotating and pulling up scud. Scud is kind of like those jaggedy clouds that you see the storm kind of pull in to its base. Man, the potential is there today. The potential is absolutely there. I like what I see so far. If we can get one of these storms to get a little bigger, it could be a treat. It could be a treat. And the good thing is we're in a low population area, so and these tornadoes won't be very big. They'll be on the smaller side, so that's the good news. Low population area. If you're just new to the channel, make sure to sub. I appreciate it a lot. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers. My goal is to get there by the end of the month. I don't know if we're going to quite be able to do that, but hey, a good chase, a couple of good chases, and then you're there. It doesn't take much. A couple of good chases, and then you get some subs. So welcome in, everybody. You're from Greece. We got someone from Greece. Mary, what's up? We have some scud right in front of us. This is the storm to the north. We're kind of watching the storm to the north go off into the distance, because I really think the one to the south. What's up, Grifter? How's it going? Didn't get notification, but yeah, good to see you too, man. Man, if we do get a tornado today, it'll be gorgeous. It'll be a good one. Okay, yeah, so Nathan asked the question, aren't storms that mess with each other not good? Well, it depends, Nathan. Sometimes you can get a destructive merger. So sometimes you get what you call a destructive merger, and it's when the storm doesn't really need a merger, but it gets one anyway. Or maybe your storm has already had 4 or 5 mergers, and your storm, that's all your storm might need is 4 or 5 mergers, but it keeps getting mergers. That's called a destructive merger, and that could be bad. Although if your storm just gets a couple of mergers, maybe that's good. In today's case, I think a couple of mergers are a good thing. Mergers aren't going to be a bad thing on today's chase. They're going to be a relatively good thing. So yeah, the storm in front of me just doesn't look like it's going to be the one. It just needs so much help. And these storms just don't quite have it. So they're going to need some help. You can see the low-level jet is ripping here, and we're looking to the east. We're looking to the east now. We're just to the north of Mason City. All right, guys, like I said, we got to get these storms to kind of merge together here. If they can merge together, then they'll do some work here. I definitely think if it's going to be any of these storms, it's going to be the one off to my south that we're looking at right now. If it's going to be any of these storms, it's going to be the one to my south that we're looking at right now. There's so much wind shear in the air. You can instantly tell how much wind shear is in the air here. These storms just need a little bit of a boost. So we'll see if we can get some boost on these storms or not. Apparently it's shooting up. Its echo tops are shooting up. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but they probably are. There's a tornado warning up to our north. What? Huh? Is that an accident? I'll make a bunch of those. Observed tornado. What? I have no idea why. Man, these things need some help. There's the one off to our north. Man, these storms need some major help here. They might get it. They may just get it, but we'll see. Not sure. But we got to give it some time. It's very important to be very patient when you're chasing. We'll give these some time and see what they do. There's a tornado northwest of Albert Lee on a storm that, like, literally, this storm is barely even a rain. It's not even a storm. There's literally like a rain shower with a tornado near Albert Lee. And there's another rain shower to the north, the one that we were on earlier, that is also tornado warned. It has a really strong rotation. Dude, I would have been on that one up near Adams. It looked like it was dying. Yeah, I'm kind of lost here. I don't know what's going on with these storms here. We got one right in front of us. Yeah, there's 2 tornado warned storms. I'm not on either one of them, honestly. Not gonna lie, I was on one of those storms and then I left. There were some other chasers also on that storm and they all left, and there's obviously a reason everybody left the storm. you know. But then it started going crazy after everybody left. So at this point, I'm not really sure how to play this or what to do here. Our storms might be trying to like weaken almost. I don't know what's going on. Well, they're not weakening. I'm not sure. 40,000 feet. It's right in front of us. That's our storm right there. It's actually trying to get some rotation on it, but these are on the struggle bus, aren't they? Yeah, it looks like we might be getting a merger here soon, so I'm gonna have to keep up with this one. Alright guys, well, we might be on the wrong storm. I'm not really sure. Maybe we're not. Maybe these ones will still get it done, but time will tell, of course, like it always does. I might get up towards Manly onto that highway. But for now, we're just gonna sit here and watch. Give me just a minute, guys. Yeah, so the storm that's up in Minnesota that's tornado warned, I was on that storm. And then it started dying. That storm, remember, started dying, so we left. And now it looks like the storm to be on, really, so. Sometimes that's how it goes. There's some rotation right there in front of us, but. This road in front of me is really busy, my goodness. For this area, at least. Dude, these storms look like they're dying. There's no way these storms just die. There's another one up there that's popping up now, but no shot these things die. There's a really good looking one to the north. See, I don't really know what to do here, guys. I don't know. These are so high base too. I'm watching that cell blowing up right there, and we'll see what this one does right here. Might have to go north. Tough. I don't know which way to go. Hold on, I'm gonna take a few more minutes here to figure this one out. Oh, what's going on today, guys? We got some storms trying to do it, but we're not on them. It's not good. Oh gosh, that one near Leroy looks so textbook. Dang it, dude. We could have easily been on that one. Alright, we're gonna have to go west to Lake Mills. We just had a new storm fire up. I want to see what this new one firing up. We're looking right at it. Here we are. I don't know what to do. This one in front of me doesn't look that favorable either, so I might have to go to this Lake Mills one to my west. Yeah, guys, I botched the chase already, but we still have some storms to go for. So I think the one towards Lake Mills might be the shot. But I want to keep an eye on this guy here. So we're gonna get up to Lake Mills. Yeah, the problem is, guys, I was on the right storm initially, and that's where I felt was the right place to be. But I started following the storm, and then that storm started to die. That storm literally started to die, so I was like, why would I want to be on this storm? It's dying. Like, it literally started dying, and then all of a sudden it sprouts up and it ends up being the better storm, at least for now. I mean, we'll see what happens though, but it's okay. It happens. Storm chasing is difficult. It's a difficult game to play. So we get up towards Lake. Let's see here. Get up towards Lake Mills. I don't see that on the map. It's only like 15, 20 minutes away. It's not that far. So we're going to get up. I think those storms will have the best chance with mergers and stuff like that. And on a day like today, silly stuff is probably going to end up happening. So, but obviously, if I could play it all over again, I'd want to be up in southeast Minnesota. So we're gonna head towards the Lake Mills storm, and if we have to blast back to the east, we can. But I'd have to probably figure that out very soon if that's what we were planning on doing. So I'm gonna kind of keep an eye on everything. Man, if the 1-star east here get a merger or something, they're really blowing up just to my east. So I almost don't want to give up on those ones yet because they're really blowing up there, but they just don't have that shape to them. They don't have that look to them. Just don't have that look to them, in my opinion. The Lake Mills one just went tornado warned, radar indicated, so we can get up there in just a minute, and we'll be on that one very soon. It's probably in the distance. You can actually probably see it over there in the distance, maybe. This whole line is like tornado warned right now, so we'll see. I wonder. This Lake Mills one is about to get a merger too, so it could be mean business pretty soon. So that's what my gut tells me to do right now, so that's what we're going to do. In about 5 miles, we'll be turning north, and we'll be in a better position to get a view of it. So we're blasting up towards Lake Mills and Joyce, Lake Mills and Joyce, Iowa, right on the border with Minnesota. This storm that I'm headed towards is going to drift just to the south of Albert Lee. It's eventually going to go right over I-35 and eventually kind of up towards Adams and Austin area. Adams and Austin, Minnesota. So that's what we're doing right now. So we're about to be on a tornado warned storm in about 15 minutes. We'll be able to see the whole base of it here. So We gotta hurry though, just in case it decides to produce something. But here in about 4 minutes, we're gonna be able to turn on to I-35, and then we'll be able to. Outside of Lake Mills here, and we're blasting up that direction. I think that's going to have the best shot here of any of these storms. This whole line is kind of warned, so but yeah, this storm is about to get a merger. There's a merger right there. You can see it right there. That was right there. That's a merger about to kind of come into this storm here. So we'll see what it does. Big lowering reported on the storm, a big time lowering on the storm. And remember, we do have a tornado warning. We're going to be on it in the next 20 minutes or so. Really, even probably sooner than that. Honestly, let me see here. We'll probably be on the storm in about 15 minutes. So just bear with me here for about 10, 15, 20 minutes while I reposition onto the storm. It's going to be off there to the right. We do get it. I'm here about 2 miles here from I-35 northbound. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 8,500 subs here. We're getting close to 10K as well. And I think this storm near Lake Mills could do it very soon. It's still radar indicated rotation, but I think this storm near Lake Mills is going to be able to do it pretty soon. It's got a pretty good meso on it. And we're going to blast up 35 to this thing, up towards Twin Lakes. Dude, I swear I've been like 5 minutes from this exit for like the last 10 minutes, but I guess time just goes very slow when you're stressing out about missing tornadoes. Time does not go very quickly. That's for sure. This might be the exit that I got off of. Almost hit a bird there. Alright, we're going to go through some rain here real quick here, but we're getting up this storm. This storm's going to get a merger, and it's going to probably do something in a minute. I really think that this storm has a good shot here by Lake Mills of doing something. I think the storms off to the east in Minnesota probably have the better chance because they have the better wind shear, but it's not a huge difference. Here we go, onto the interstate. We can make up some ground here. We're headed towards a tornado-warned storm near Lake Mills, Iowa, very close to the Minnesota border. Eventually it's going to cross probably into Minnesota, or at least straddle the border there. good to be out here chasing, of course. Strong mesocyclone on the Lake Mills storm, and like I said, these storms will produce tornadoes even without a very strong mesocyclone on radar, so we'll just have to see. Alright, we gotta go about another 7 or 8 miles north and then we'll get right up on this thing. A tornado could be imminent, I'm not sure. I haven't seen any, I have only seen post a picture of the storm, but just judging off of rotation on this thing, I think a tornado could be imminent here sometime soon on this storm. I don't know, well, from the Minneapolis radar, there's not a ton of rotation on it, so we'll see. This semi-truck in front of me doesn't even have his lights on. I don't know if either one of them have their lights on. You could barely see them. But we'll see, guys. I don't know. I really think the target was to the northeast and we botched it. So, but I guess we weren't the only ones, but I don't know, we should have been on that one. We were on that one to start. And then, on that one to start, and then it started, the storm started to die, so I didn't want to be on a dying storm. You know. This storm is in the middle of a merger, so we'll see what it does. It's in the middle of getting kind of a merger or kind of recycling here. We'll have to see what it does, but there's some Brad rotation on it. We're officially, oh, we're not officially on the tornado warning box, but we're really close. So. We're very close to the tornado warning storm near Lake Mills, by the way. If you're just tuning in. Lake Mills, Iowa, very close to the Minnesota line, not too far from Albert Lee. And any minute now, we're going to be able to see this thing off to the left. Just give it a few more minutes here, getting into position. I really think that storm to our east was the better storm to be on, but hey, it is what it is. I think all these storms over here could randomly produce some tornadoes, and we'll just have to see what they do. I'm not sure. north storm up there has not produced a tornado yet. So unless it produces a tornado that I'm pretty jealous of, I probably wouldn't even mind not being on it, but we'll see. I think this storm's got a decent chance. So the meso's strengthening again, and we'll see what this thing does. In about 3 miles, I'll be able to exit and get off and go get onto this thing. It's a very small town up here. I don't know what it's called. Very small town. What? Maybe not. Maybe that's not a town up here. I'm not sure. But we're almost in position now, guys. We're almost in position, chat. Tornado warning. We're officially in the tornado warning now. Radar indicated it once again. There's a little meso on this thing. Like I said, these storms don't need big old mesos to produce a tornado. It doesn't take too much usually. But we'll literally have a really good... We already have a view of the east side of the storm, and we'll have a really good view of the storm in a few minutes. Storm to our north, way up to the northeast, that I would rather be on, but that one is about to get a big merger. Who knows what's going to happen when that merger happens with that one up there. We'll see. Not too sure either way if that's going to get even more is it going to get more robust and stronger, or if it's going to weaken. I'm not really sure. Our exit's right up here. We'll have a view right into the belly of the beast here. Sorry about the wipers there. Gotta turn those off. This storm probably doesn't have enough on its own, but with the storm getting a merger, I think it's got a decent shot. It's got a decent shot. It's only 4 p.m., man. 4:15. Like I said, I think 4 to 6 is probably the hot spot today, if any of these are going to produce tornadoes. So it's going to be right in front of us, guys, when we make this turn here. There's our storm base. There's a base of our storm, and as you can see, not a ton is going on right now, but we're gonna give it a little bit of we're gonna give it some time here. And we got a big hotel and a big casino right here. Okay, so there's not a town here, but there's a casino and a hotel. So we're just gonna pull up somewhere up here, and we're gonna watch this storm. There's other chasers up here, so maybe we'll pull in next to these dudes up here and watch what's going on here. There's our storm right in front of us, and not anything too visually impressive, to be honest with you, but we'll see how things kind of progress here. I'm gonna kind of chill by these dudes right here. They seem pretty chill chasers up here. So old people, really old people chasing out here. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just usually you don't see a lot of elderly people chasing. Usually it's the younger generation. There we go, guys. There's our storm. There's our tornado warned storm right there. There's some rising motion and a little bit of a base there. But here we have a great view right here. We have a really nice view right about here. All right, we'll see what this storm does. Somehow these random rain showers up in Minnesota are producing tornadoes. It makes no sense, but it's hilarious. Why are those random rain showers just producing tornadoes? So odd. Storm kind of really started to get a merger, and then it never did, so we'll see what happens with it. That one way off to the east is not warned anymore. That's a little bit of a surprise to me. I think they should probably still have that one maybe warned, but trying to figure out exactly where the rotation is. I think it should be, it should be right in front. It's going to be right in front of us. That's where the rotation would be. So if a tornado drops, it'll kind of drop right in front of us here. You can see the rain curtains really moving in there. This thing just kind of needs some help right now. It's not... It's not doing too hot. Huh. Well, we'll keep watching it and see how it progresses here. But we're on a tornado-warned storm near... Oh, my gosh. I just ended the tornado warning. We were on a tornado-warned storm near Lake Mills, and they just let it expire, so... watching it for anything interesting. I thought I was kind of trying to develop a nice base, but I want to see what it does here now that it's got this merger to go through it. Or the merger's way in the forward flank. I wonder if it needs like another kind of nudger thing on the backside of it. I'm not really sure. But this storm is no longer tornado warned. It was just a few minutes ago. But we get up to the storm, guys, and then they discontinue the warning the second we get there. Sometimes that's how it goes. That's how it goes sometimes. And then what I'm so confused about is, look at this. You have these like random... Look at this. You have these random rain showers. These are like literal rain showers to the north. There's Storm Runner Media. They just passed us. You have these like rain showers to the north that are like tornado warned and that are dropping random tornadoes. And then these like actual storms down here seem like they don't want to as much. So it is interesting. It is interesting. So I don't know what the play is here. It's just, I mean, we don't have any other option. We just kind of have to keep following this one. There, there's an observed tornado to the north. I don't understand. I don't understand why there's like rain showers to the north producing tornadoes, and then these ones won't try it at all. I mean, I don't know. It really shouldn't be that different. Oh, I can't see it. There's so many cars here. See what they're doing. But I'm gonna reposition a little bit because clearly this is not doing it right now. So. Really not right now. This sucks, dude. Why is there rain showers to the north producing tubes? It makes no sense.
Watch the storm to the east do exactly what the last
Yeah, I probably will. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know why there's storms to the east producing tubes, but... Beats A, guys, it beats me. I don't really know. Shoot, I can't go there. I can't turn left there, guys. Sorry. My bad. I can't... wait. I can't turn left at that stoplight, right? Can I? I don't even know. Hold on. Let me pull off here and figure out Is there... I thought I could turn left. Let me try this again. I might just keep going east. We'll see. Hold on, guys. Let me... That stoplight is weird. That stoplight is weird. At this point, I don't really know what to expect right now. Well, I see some inflow coming into the storm, and it still looks like it would have a shot. It's not doing too hot, is it? What do you think about it?
I like that motion right there, but it's like...
Yeah, well, it's trying to pull in some inflow right there on the
right
on the left side. It's trying to pull in some inflow on the left side there. But
like, it's definitely... I feel like that's definitely...
Is that a new meso forming, maybe?
I think so.
Yeah, probably. See, look at that inflow coming in there on the forward flank of it.
Dude, I got Ree's.
Can you see anything on...
Look what Ree's doing. This guy's... his location. He's heading all the way east back to that cell.
Why?
Because he probably thinks he got to do what the one behind it, the first one we abandoned, did.
Oh, you think so? Could it? What do you think?
That's what he thinks. Dude...
I mean, I don't know if I could even get there at this point. I'm sure I could if I went due east. It looks a little better now. 20... The one near Osage looks a little bit better.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's only 29 miles away, but I don't even know, like, what it looks like. That's a hard thing.
Yeah, there's definitely some rotation now. Okay, yeah, look at how far. That's a new meso right there. The storm shifted east. So I'm not really 100% sure, but those random ones to the north were, like, producing, like, torrs.
I've still seen no picture evidence of any of these tornadoes.
Yeah, we could get east. I saw one. It was a really weak tornado. I'm just glad the one near what was it? Leroy didn't do anything because that looked pretty good on radar. But I didn't see anything ever come out of that.
I'm surprised that Mason City one ended up dying.
Mason City, yeah. Like I said, man, it just needed like a merger or a nudger or something, and they just could never get that. So, yeah, I don't know what to expect. I don't understand what these storms are just weird.
Mike Mars is on the Osage one.
He's on the Osage one, so that's probably the spot to be. Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I could get there in 30 minutes, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Reed's almost there.
Yeah. There's a lot of people on this cell right here. Well, I don't really like what this cell is doing, so I don't know. I might as well try to get east, right? And then if this one looks... I thought this one was going to take a merger, and then it never really took it. It was kind of weird.
It's got a second one coming up.
It's got another merger coming up. Yeah.
But it's like, it might be too far ahead.
Gosh, dude, it's 40 minutes out to Little Cedar. 42 minutes to Little Cedar, but...
It's just, these storms aren't even forming like I expect they would form.
No.
Like we're expecting...
Well, the ones to the east, I kind of figured, but I was on those ones early and they just died, so...
Yeah, I was only like 2 miles behind you that whole time.
Yeah, and they just died.
It looked really good for a second, then just like...
It did.
It looked like the updrafts were being choked.
I'm going to hedge east just in case.
Yeah,
and then if I have to
come back... You can only
back,
get this one.
I can always get back to this one really easy, so... Alright, chat, I'm going to run it. I'm going to run east and try to get back on that other one, but we'll see if I can or not. I don't know. The big problem is these storms are weird. Like, some of them will be like literal rain showers and like produce tornadoes. Others will like be all like big and robust and they won't produce tornadoes. It's kind of odd. But this is how it usually goes on these kind of setups. You always got to expect the unexpected. So this guy's going east. We got a chaser right in front of us. Cyclone on our supercell, so I want to watch it and see just in case. One that we were just on is looking a little bit better over there. I'll try to veer the camera. You can kind of see it on the left there. It's looking a little bit better now. Man, the 1 year Osage is looking better now too, so we'll see. I don't know. It's at least a little bit better of a shot. I'm gonna head near Riceville. Starting to pull in some scud here, so. Yeah, today's one of the harder days I think I've probably chased here in a while. It's not an easy one, for sure. We got some nice scud on our storm, but there's not much rotation under that scud. John White right there. John White. Maybe there's all these confirmed tornadoes to the north on like little rain showers. Rain showers with no mesocyclone. So it does make me wonder. That 1 year Osage does look solid though. So, well, I'm not sure. It's trying to rotate, but it's a nice little mini spin. I don't know if it'll ever do it, but I'm gonna go. I think that one has the most real estate, so I might go for that one. I think that storm near Osage has the most real estate, but apparently I don't think these storms really need much real estate. Maybe they've kind of probably proven that, but yeah, the winds are a little bit more backed up to there to the east too. I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough choice here of what storm to go for. The hodographs are definitely better to the hodographs are better over to the east. So that's where you'd think, right? You have better wind shear and everything. That's where you'd think these would be, but this is a tough thing about chasing storms. This is never quite, where you expect things to happen. But I'm going to play the better hodographs there in northeast Iowa. That's what I usually do. I usually like to play the better hodographs. That's what I'm going to do. better wind shear, better hoder grass. I mean, you'd think that the ones to the east would be better. They got a better environment and everything, but sometimes you just don't know. So it's tough. I can get on those storms in about 25 minutes, so it's nothing too crazy here. I can get on it in about 25 minutes. I guess hindsight, I guess I should have stayed over there, but these ones definitely look better here to the west. And see, what happens is you get on the right storm, and then another storm, your storm doesn't do so hot, and then another storm gets better, and then you get on the storm that looks better, and the storm you're on before looks good, and then, oh wait, another storm looks better. Let's get on the other storm that looks better, and then, oh no, look at this other storm. Now it looks even better. You know, that's the game that you always end up playing. So I'm gonna keep blasting east, but there's Ryan Mock right in front of us. Okay, got Ryan Mock in front of us, and yeah, this storm to the north just doesn't strike me as much of a tornado producer. So I just, until I see something change, I don't want to be on it. Until I see something change here, I don't want to be on it. At 5 p.m., your best soundings are up near the border. So here, I'm going to point the phone back forward because we're starting to get out of the view of the storm. It's just this is a tough one to chase. It really is. It's not an easy one. I just don't like anything I see in the storm by north. So I don't think it's the one I'd want to be on. These storms aren't moving overly quick, and I can get onto them relatively fast, so it's not a huge deal. Yeah, I think that one to the east is going to be the one, so that's where I'm blasting to, guys. That's why I'm blasting east. We're going to go through some rain here and a couple more small towns, but we can get there in relatively 25 minutes here. Guy up here is going not too quick here, is he? I'm gonna try to poke around. This road is bad, so the camera's gonna definitely probably shake, but I apologize. This road is not good. Woo! This road is not good. Oh my goodness, look at the bumps. Every 5 feet. Boom, 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 boom. It's just like never-ending bumps here. So not good, not ideal, not a fun chase. Good thing there's not a tornado in front of us, and we're trying to get footage of it because that'd be a pretty difficult task. Bump, 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 bump. That's what we're getting right now. I do like how that one to my east is looking right now. So it's the highest. It has the higher tops, even too, compared to this one. Tops are going up. Let's just hope I can get there in 30 minutes when it's tornado time, and tornado time isn't anytime within the next 30 minutes. That's what we gotta hope for. That's what we gotta hope for. So. Guys, I apologize about the roads and the bumps bumpiness. I mean, I guess that's really nothing that's in my power, but can't control the roads. I just drive on them. But we're gonna get into a little bit of rain here. It shouldn't be too heavy. It'll get a little bit heavier here, and then we'll be out of the rain, and we'll be honestly, guys, we're not gonna be right onto the storm. But in the next 10 miles, once we get out of this rain, we will be able to get a view of the storm. So in about 10 to 15 minutes, I actually think we're going to have a view of the storm. Even though we won't be directly under it for about half an hour, we'll be able to see it. These storms are pretty low precipitation, I believe. And let's see how fast is this guy going. This guy's going faster than the other guy. But I guess he's going pretty slow up here, so I might have to scoot around this guy too, as long as it's safe here. Let's see, is this? Yeah, there's no other cars coming, so here we go. I'll take my opportunity without the oncoming traffic. So we should be able to see the storm pretty soon, guys. Bumpy roads here. Man, the storm up near Bath might be the one to be on, maybe. I have an observed tornado. So those random rain showers are producing tornadoes, interestingly enough. So that's how you know it's a funky day and anything can kind of happen. We're just, if you're just tuning in, we're near the Minnesota-Iowa border here. Just to the north of Manly, Iowa. Just to the northwest of Osage, Iowa. We're blasting through some of this precip here so we can get onto these stores. But first we gotta blast through all this crap right here to get onto it. Sure we don't hydroplane either. Now the rain's gotten a little bit heavier, but it's not going to get any heavier than this, really, so that's good. Or I don't think it will. Yeah, stuff is already trying to line out right here, so we got to get to our storm. Maybe it'll do something weird whenever the line hits it, I don't know. But this shouldn't be too long of a... If we were live past like 7 o'clock, I'd be pretty shocked. So we'll see though. We'll see how long we end up being live, brother. Those storms that I wanted to be on to the east, honestly, never ended up doing anything. They didn't end up doing too much, so. Man, the storms all the way between here and Minneapolis are the ones that have the most rotation, which is so odd. No one would have expected that. That's why there's no that's why there's no chasers up there. But yeah, nobody would have expected that right there to happen. Here, I gotta get through this rain here, and then I can get back onto the storms, and I can get you guys a shot. Bear with me though, we're just to the south of the Minnesota-Iowa border, just to the south, not too far east of I-35, all the way up north, and far north Iowa, and our storm eventually might actually scoot into Minnesota, so. speed limit goes way down up here. Goodness, 25 miles an hour. Okay. You gotta slow way down, guys. The little small town speed trap here with 25 mile an hour limit, man. That is really low for a town like this. Woo! I guess this is Main Street right here. Alright guys, we should be out of this rain pretty soon. We're working on it. We're working on getting out of the rain. We should almost be out of the rain here in a minute. I promise, in a minute. We're working on it. I don't hate the look of that storm near Riceville. It does have a lot of inflow on it. We're just playing catch up here. Here we go, we're getting out of this rain just a little bit here. We're going to be able to see this storm here soon, I think. But we got to go a little bit farther, maybe another few miles. Let's see, from our storm base, we're about 13 miles away. So yeah, here pretty soon we'll be able to... We're getting there, y'all. We're getting there here. Let me cook here. Let me cook. I think I'm cooking. I might not be. It's hard to cook today. Man, this rain is pesky. It won't go away. It won't go away. Should almost be out of this stuff to be able to see the storm here. We're about to head into a little town, so we'll probably have to go pretty slow up here. But yeah, we'll head into this town here. We'll have to slow down. I think once we get out of this town, though, we'll be able to go pretty quick. able to approach a storm here to get out of the town. Man, another town with the 25 speed limit. That's not going to help us get out of the range. Little town called St. Anger. St. Anger? Agner? I don't know. We're going to turn left at this stoplight. A little bit of traffic here in this town. Nice little church there. Okay. Nice little town here. I usually am impressed with these towns up here in Iowa. I usually think they're on the nicer side most of the time. I bet there's 1,000 people that might live here. I'm not really too sure though. Whoa. Interesting. But there might be 1,000 people that live here. How do we lose? That town I was just in, the speed limit got down to 20 miles an hour. That really will slow you down. 20-mile-an-hour speed limits usually aren't too nice. Okay, this storm near Riceville is about to get mergers here. Or nudgers. The storm in front of us is going to get nudgers, and we're going to be on it. I don't know what this thing is going to look like, but it's about to try to get some nudgers, so we'll see. We'll see if it nudges into a tornado. But here in the next like 3-4 miles, we have a view of some of the nudgers in front of us, and we should be getting a view here of the storm. Our storm is only, it's now 14 miles away from us, but we're kind of headed right to it, so we'll get on it very quickly. this phone and it won't connect. It's so odd. Interesting. And I'm sorry about the sir. I've had like 4 bars and I don't know what was going on with my YouTube, but Ashley Furniture Truck. We can't see our storm any. Should have bars. Yes. Yeah, guys, today's weird. All the storms in the worst environment are producing. It's so odd. I don't really know why. Probably should have went north on 35 and gotten to the east of us now. Yes, man. It's good on the phone. It says 2 bars. Yeah, the storm that we want, guys, should be right in front of us, and it's not looking too hot right now, to be honest. To be honest with you, with y'all, chat, it's not looking too great. It's like lost its whole identity now. It's lost its rotation and everything. I guess we'll keep giving it a shot. But it's lost some of its identity. And then the ones to the north are randomly producing tubes, so maybe we should have went up there. Yeah, these storms like elevated and like high based. Oh god. might just have to bite the bullet and just head north from wherever I am, right here. Yeah, today is like one of the harder chases I've seen. It's tough. It's not easy to get on these suckers. I'm gonna look at some data here and then decide here. But see, that's the storm we're supposed to be on. That doesn't look like what I thought it might look like. I get north from here. I should have just went north on 35 if I was going to do it. Yeah, it's a tough spot to get north, but we might be able to go towards Grand Meadow and just see. Oh, gosh. Yeah, it's going to be a tough drive. All right, well, we're going to have to try it because this stuff down here isn't working. So I remember how I said the other storm looked trash, so I might as well go to a different one. Well, that's what I'm thinking here. This storm looks trash, so I might as well go to a different one. What an odd day. I don't even know what to think. This is such a weird day. There's some baroclinic boundary in this weather interacting with, I guess. We're just gonna have to head up towards Rochester. Man, there's not much else we can do. We're just gonna have to head up towards Rochester and hope that we get on some storms in the next couple hours and see what happens. I mean, he'll get on them before a couple hours, but you know. Up here at this left up here to go north of the turn. We'll have to drive through some of this rain again here. These storms out here look they literally look elevated. I'm not even kidding. Look elevated. It's so odd. Super, super odd. Probably gonna hear me say that a few more times. Today's been a weird day. Because it has, so. Why does it want me to get on a dirt road to get up here? Oh well. That's why it's gonna take me so long now. And this guy's blocking the road here. So let me get up on this road here. See if I can squeeze past this guy right there. There we go. Well, I think eventually I don't have to be on this I think eventually I get to get off of this road here, so that's good. We even got a little bit of a supercell right here. It's literally a little bit of a supercell trying to form right here, but I mean these storms just look so, I don't know, they just look odd. Just look very odd. Very odd storms. Yeah, there's probably in far eastern Wisconsin, there's probably like a sig torrent developing right now. I mean far eastern Minnesota, it looks like almost just to the north of apart. And another one. There's another one too, isn't there? Wow, yeah. There could be a strong tornado there near La Crosse, or just to the west of La Crosse here soon. But our storms down here just don't seem to want to do anything, so I don't really know what to say. And we can't get over east, so it might be cooked. It might be cooked. We'll assess the situation in the next half hour and figure things out. Yeah, but today hasn't been the best chase so far, has it? Started off okay, but it's kind of gone downhill. These storms have kind of gone downhill here, so. Oh my gosh, that's the smallest little rabbit ever, man. I think it's tiny. Road closed up to my south. That's probably why it didn't have me take that road, I guess. It's like, why is it taking me on dirt? Well, that's probably why. The road was closed. There's a nice little lightning bolt. This road is going to be pretty bumpy, ladies and gentlemen. This road's going to be bumpy. Really close to that Minnesota-Iowa border here. I don't even know what storm to chase. This storm in front of me is trying to get some scud. It's actually trying to get some scud, but it doesn't have much rotation on it. Oddly enough. Those storms near the Wisconsin-Minnesota border all the way east need to probably be tornado warned. I don't know why they aren't. They should probably tornado warn those ones. All these towns have 25 limits here. I'm just gonna head up towards Rochester here. Rochester, Minnesota. I'm just gonna head up to Rochester and see what there is there. And if probably got a little something trying to form here, but nothing crazy. We're gonna get up towards Rochester to where those storms that are producing tornadoes are up there, and we'll see if they still have tornadoes in about 45-50 minutes, but who knows. Man, those storms to the west of La Crosse look pretty dang good. I don't know why they don't have those tornado warnings. What? Alright guys, but we're heading up to the north to see what we can see. Oh man. Here we go. We're just going to the north, everybody. We're just going to the north here, chat. See what there is to see. We gotta blast through the rain here for a while. This is not too fun here, blasting through the rain, but we shouldn't have a ton of it. I think we'll get on to a storm that could produce something here at some point, but not sure when. Not sure when or for how long it could produce, but like I said, we're gonna head up towards Rochester, and then in Rochester we're gonna reassess the situation and see if we want to keep chasing or if we need to pull the plug on today and then refocus for tomorrow. But I'm not really sure either way. Guy's trying to get back on the road here. Trying to cause an accident, buddy. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. Woo. Around the curve. Stop sign up here. Why does it want me to go on the dirt road? I'm so lost. Why does it keep taking me on these dirt roads? I have no idea what my phone is doing. It says this is the fastest way up there, so I believe it. Interesting stuff here. Hopefully I'm only on these roads for 3 or 4 miles. I can handle that, but anything more than that is kind of a little bit of a nuisance. Those storms to the west, if you live in by those storms that are to the west of La Crosse, Wisconsin, you should get into cover because those storms should be tornado warned. I don't know why the National Weather Service has not tornado warned those, but over to the west of La Crosse, Wisconsin, those should 100% be tornado warned. I think it's pretty foolish. They're playing with a lot of fire by not warning those storms over there. I cannot believe it. Those are not warned for tornadoes. Particularly the storm near Yucatan. That's the one that should be tornado warned. I'm trying to get up towards Rochester, guys, and then when we get up towards those tornado-warned storms near Rochester, we're going to have a decision to make on if we want to keep trying to chase them or not. I think we might try to chase some storms for a little bit once we get up there, but I'm not sure. It depends on what they're looking like here. So, but yeah, I'd really love to be over on that storm near La Crosse. That's really where I'd love to be. Even the one to the east of Albert Lee doesn't look too bad. Like, we might actually position on the one to the east of Albert Lee. That cell, it doesn't look too hot, but it also doesn't look horrible, so. Ooh, slick roads here. The one near Awantana. The one near Awantana looks okay, too. I think we might target that kind of QLCS line right there. What is my phone even wanting me to do here? I don't know. Let's keep going straight here into this onto this dirt road, and then I think it turns me. I think it turns me back right, hopefully onto a main road here in a minute. But we'll see. I have connection. I'm in the middle of nowhere on these dirt roads, and I have connection. But back in some of those towns, I had some pretty rough connections, so that doesn't make too much sense, does it? But here we are deep in the forest now. We don't have connection, so trees equal bad service always. Me to go back. So maybe there's some road work going on some of these roads, and it just got a little bit wonky road-wise, so not really too sure. To be honest, I'm not really too sure. We're only about 35 minutes from Rochester, so once we get up to Rochester, we'll figure out what the heck we want to do, and then go from there. But been an interesting chase. I mean, my forecast was very correct. I said today was going to overperform, and I said it was a big sleeper day, and I said all these things, and that was very correct, but I just wasn't on the right storms apparently, which sometimes you have a good forecast and you're just on the wrong storms, which means that your pinpoint forecast wasn't too good though. That means you could, but today was weird. I mean, none of the chasers today were on the right storms apparently. At least as far as I've seen. So everybody else kind of had the same idea as me, and it didn't really work for any of us, so I don't know. I'll have to look back at the forecast and see what went wrong. Yeah, lo and behold, the storm that I was saying that the National Weather Service needs to tornado warn now has an observed tornado. I don't know who is manning. I don't know who is at National Weather Service La Crosse. Whoever is issuing the warnings at National Weather Service La Crosse in Wisconsin has no idea what they're doing. They have no idea what they're doing. No idea what they're doing over at National Weather Service La Crosse. Somebody else needs to get there and start manning the tornado warnings, because that's pretty ridiculous. There's a strong couplet on that storm for about 20 minutes, and then it produces a tornado, and there's no warning. I mean, that's so ridiculous. Yeah, someone at National Weather Service Lacrosse fell asleep. Somebody over there fell asleep. Yeah, I don't know who's at National Weather Service Lacrosse, but they probably, I don't know, they probably are not fit for the job that they have. They probably shouldn't have that job or that position. I mean, there's a clear tornadic mesocyclone with strong rotation for the past half hour, and there's no warning. I mean, like, that is so ridiculous. Like, what are we doing over there? What are we doing over there at National Weather Service Lacrosse? And that's all I'll say about it. But I won't say anything else. But that was a pretty bad error there by Lacrosse. Hopefully that tornado didn't hit anybody or injure anybody, or even worse. So. Hopefully no one got injured from that tornado or hit from that tornado, because that's a big problem if you're the National Weather Service and you don't put out a tornado warning and then someone gets hurt, or someone's house. Well, so I guess someone's house is going to get hit regardless. But like, if someone got hurt or someone didn't know, or someone gets killed, that's how people get killed. Is you don't put warnings out like that. And like I said, I was not going to say anything else, but I think that's. Sometimes the National Weather Service has some mess ups, but that mess up is obvious. Sometimes I get it. The tornadoes sometimes tornadoes will come out of nowhere, or they won't be expected. But in this scenario, that is not the case. So I don't know who was over there, but that's all I got to say. That's a pretty big it's a pretty big bugaboo there. That's all I gotta say. But it looks like the tornado was maybe on the stronger side. I can't really tell. I would have to take it's hard when I'm driving to take a close look at it. But there's possibly a strong tornado over there. I'm not really 100% sure if it was strong, but there's definitely a tornado. Oh, yeah. Ay, guys. All right. Well, we're on the wrong... There's a tornado warning to my west. I might as well go check out this storm to the north of Austin. I guess it's better than nothing, so it might start getting towards Austin. lose some. Maybe not. Who knows? Might as well try to get on this Supercell Tour West and just see what it looks like. And if this Supercell Tour West doesn't look like anything, then the chase is over. If it does, then we'll keep at it. Check out, man, these roads got a lot of loose gravel, but we're gonna go check out these storms to our west and see what they do. But like I said, if these storms to the west aren't looking too hot, then we'll probably call it a day. Maybe they'll look good though. Maybe these storms will look good. You never know. I'm not really sure yet. I think we got to get a little bit closer. But these right here, the ones we're coming up on, are really the only options I see as far as chaseable storms. And then after that, it's all over. Gravel is really loose on this road. You got to be careful not to go too fast. Once you get towards 50 on these loose gravel roads, they have a rough time. All right, so listen. Alright guys, I have word that the storm that we're headed to has good... Alright, I word that the structure on the storm that we're headed towards is good. So I do have word that the structure over there is pretty good. So that's what we're kind of going for here at this point. And there is definitely a low tornado risk with these storms as well. I wouldn't rule it out. Based off what I've seen so far today from a lot of these storms, I'm not too confident in it, but I guess up to the north into Minnesota, there's been quite a few. So yeah, I hear that the structure's pretty good, so we'll see. Man, we just got to get on these, we just got to get off these roads here, huh? So we don't slip and roll into the ditch here on this loose gravel. All right, birdies, come on. Get out of the road, birdies. Get out of the road. Now, we're almost off these roads here, so we're headed towards Austin, Minnesota. We're almost off these roads, too. This is great chase terrain out here. I'd love to chase a tornado warrant storm out here. I think we diverged left here. I'd love to chase a tornado warrant storm out here. This is great terrain. There's some stuff out here. Maybe it was to the west of here last week when we saw those Minnesota tornadoes. See, now we go back this way, and then sure, eventually we'll get back onto the highway. But so odd. It's so odd having to go on all these gravel roads out here. It's so odd having to drive on all these gravel roads to get to where I want to go. Like, I put in a pretty solid, you'd think that there'd be some paved roads, but I guess not. There's not much out here in this part of the state. Minnesota's been a pretty solid chase state the last couple of years, at least for their standards. So I know at times in the past they've had some big ones. Oh my gosh, it wants me to. Now I got to take this gravel road for another 3.5 miles. These roads here, but these storms are going to have a shot at tornadoes here in the next half hour as we get onto them, and we'll see what happens here. But my confidence is low, but we'll see. We'll see, guys. You never know. That's why you got to keep chasing. You just never. There's been so many times I've given up on a chase and then I've ended up seeing a tornado. So I cannot count how many times I've given up on a chase and saw tornadoes. It's a lot. So that's why you can't ever give up on a storm. Maybe the ones that we were on way earlier at the very beginning of the chase, maybe I shouldn't have given up on those storms, but. Oh my gosh, pavement! We did it! Pavement! Here we go. We finally have some pavement, guys. Here we go. That's funny. It took so long to get on the pavement. We can actually go a little faster now. I really don't know what the highway speed limits are up in Minnesota. I'm guessing they're about the same as Iowa's really slow. Iowa's speed limits are 55, which is kind of ridiculous, to be honest with you. That's a little ridiculous, but Iowa is such a wide open state. Iowa is a very wide open state, and for the most part, it's relatively flatter, especially, there's definitely rolling hills on the south side of Iowa. Like southwest Iowa and especially southeast Iowa has a lot of rolling hills, but like it's relatively, it's not super, you know, hilly, right? Especially the northern half of the state. And it's really open and flat. I just think Iowa should probably have highways with higher than 55 limits. It's kind of crazy. But, all right, we're almost to the interstate here. Once we get on the interstate here, we're going to start cooking towards our storm. We should be able to see it. Honestly, I don't know. That storm might be in front of us. I was told it had good structure. I don't see that yet, so it could be right in front of us. Small little town, right? Well, it's not really a town because the speed limit never really went down. So there's a cemetery, a church, so a few houses right there. All right, we're gonna go west to Austin. Yeah, the structure on this, I can see this. Well, maybe I can see the structure right here. Yeah, structure on this thing's all right, isn't it? Okay, well, we'll see what happens. Austin, Minnesota, not Austin, Texas. We did go through Austin, Texas, one chase this year. We did go through there. I don't think this is my first time. I think this is I-90. I believe this is I-90, and I believe this is my first time ever on I-90, so. What is this out? We got some road work going on here. That's fine. But we got a storm in front of us now, chat. We got some storms in front of us now. So, will it produce a tornado? Probably not. Will it look okay? Probably. If it doesn't look very good, then I'll probably just call it a day and start to relax and drive in position for tomorrow. Yeah, there's not much rotation on this thing, so we'll see. I'm not really sure what's going to happen here. We got a nice structure right here. I think I'm probably close to Storm Runner Media. I wonder where they are. But we got very nice structure. We might, honestly, I might just stick out ahead of this thing for the structure. Yeah, but these ones are not going to produce, are they? Okay, we'll see though. I mean, tornado-wise, it's not looking too high here. But we got some shelf cloud structure here. I wonder if the storm on the backside had a small tornado risk, but it doesn't really look like it. So, but we have good structure right here on this interstate here. I-90. I believe this is my first time ever on this interstate here. A lot of road work here. Looks like they've been redoing the roads here. A little bit uneven. I guess they gotta finish it up. right, guys, we'll follow this structure. Yeah, these aren't going to produce tornadoes, but we'll follow this structure for a little bit. And, you know, I'm going to follow this structure at least the next half hour, and then, you know, then we'll decide kind of what to do. But we have some nice structure here. And I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm a little bit over the chase today. But you gotta take what we can get, and this is what we can get today, so that's what we'll go with. I'm probably gonna get off on this exit up here in a mile, and we'll watch the structure, see what's going down. But nothing too crazy. I wonder if I can even get off on this exit or not. I wonder if it's even open because of the work. Curious. It looked like is this exit open? It has to be, right? Let me see, there's no one behind me. Let me see if this exit's open. Is it? No, this exit's closed, huh? Man, the exit I wanted to get off on is closed. Wait, no, it's not. It's right here. It's open. Sorry, I saw the barricades and I thought it was right there, but no, this exit's open. Yeah, this structure ain't too hot, is it? Let me get up on the roof and fix this. Hold on, let me get to a better spot. I'm gonna fix this. I got a piece of tape or something on the roof that's been making this flapping noise. I gotta get it fixed. But yeah, this storm ain't looking too hot. Yeah, look at that flapping noise is making me mad. I can hear it. It's making me mad, so I gotta fix it here. Yeah, there's a sheriff sitting right there trying to get somebody, I guess. But let's fix this tape up here. Yeah, this structure, how'd this structure get worse? I wonder if there's any little bit of like rotating eddies on the front line that could do something. I'm not really sure. But yeah, it's been a long week for me, guys. And I'm sorry that I have not had the overlays up recently. I've just been having some home internet issues and it's driving me insane, but they've been driving me crazy, but we're trying to get those figured out here, so I'm gonna fix this tape, and then I'm gonna take a quick glance at tomorrow and see what we're working with. I want to try to find Stormrider Media. I'm not really sure what we're working with tomorrow, but it looks semi-interesting. Maybe could literally be right here. I might not even have to move. But Oh, guys, I don't even know what to make of today. I might end the live soon, but we'll see. Maybe if this structure gets better, I'll get back out ahead of it. Oh, I gotta ask Garrett where he's at, but I don't know. Oh, him and Garrett and them are just to my north, so they're really not far at all. They're in that rain core up there. Yeah, guys, the tornado threat, at least where I'm at, the tornado threat's pretty cooked here, so. Yeah, this is cooked, isn't it? Look at the radar. Oh my gosh, yeah. This chase is gonna be over soon, guys. I'm gonna see what's going on in chat here, and I don't know. I mean, it's a rough chase. It was a rough chase. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't my best performance today. But I guess in all fairness to me, there really wasn't anyone on the right storm. So I guess like I guess I did the right forecast, but sometimes the weather does different things. And bad wall cloud, yeah, that is a bad wall cloud. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're almost to 500 likes here. I'm by Austin, Minnesota, guys. Yeah, by Yucatan. Yeah, I was pretty upset when the National Weather Service did not issue that warning. The good thing is I looked at Yucatan, Minnesota, and it turns out it's very but it looks like the Yucatan, Minnesota area is a very, very, very isolated area. There's not very many people that live there. It's not even really a town. So, I don't know. This is all we got to look at. But I'm probably going to end the stream soon, guys. I might meet up with DL and Garrett soon. They might be coming over to me, so. There goes that police officer. He might be going after somebody. He's flying down the road. He doesn't have his lights on, but he's flying down the road. The rain's about to hit me, guys, so maybe I'll get hit by some of this rain and then... Oh, gosh, the rain is coming quick, isn't it? Looks sus by Hayfield. Where's Hayfield? I don't know where Hayfield... Yeah. Let's see. Garrett started sharing his location with me so I can see him now. No, it says no location found. Oh, there he is. Oh, DL and Garrett are just down the road here. They're coming right here. So I'm sure they'll pull in next to me here. He said something looks sus. I don't know what that even means, but oh gosh, what a bummer of a chase day. You know, it's okay. For all the really good chase days we've had, I mean, you know, you're bound to get, you know, you're bound to get stuff like this. I mean, I can't be mad. I was talking to somebody earlier today, and I was telling them I've seen so many good storm runners turning onto the interstate. I might just follow storm runner. I was talking to somebody today, and I'm like, I've seen so many good tornadoes this year. I'm like, if I didn't see another good tornado this year, I wouldn't even care that much, to be honest with you. I've seen so much good stuff. All right, well, we're gonna get out. I think they're heading out east to get out ahead of this rain, so we'll do the same thing. I might hang out with storm runner some. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Hey, so I'll follow them. Road work ahead. Okay. Well, I don't think there's road work over here on this interstate, but I guess we'll find out. Dude, storm runner was like, they were like, I thought they were gonna come say hi. They were literally across the street and they didn't even come say hi. Wow. Storm runner. But look at these guys. We're not gonna be live for much longer. Unless something changes here, I'll give it a few more minutes. But like I said, this storm did look cool for a minute. It really did. It did really look cool. So I don't know what the heck happened to it. Yeah, Garrett said it looks sus somewhere. I don't know what that means. I mean, I know what that means. I mean, it means that a storm looked interesting, but it said near, I don't even know where he said. There's a little bit of rotation down where we just were like a couple hours ago. That's how it goes. It's always where you were and not where you're going. I'll follow Storm Runner Media here and see what they're up to. I'm not a fanboy. I'm just following them around here. I thought they were gonna, like I said, I thought they were gonna say hi to me. They didn't want to, I guess. But guys, it's kind of winding down here, and yeah, that earlier, I don't know if you guys heard me ranting on the stream. I was probably mad about the chase too, but I started ranting about National Weather Service lacrosse, and like, it's nothing personal. I just think that they don't, like, I just think whoever was working there today doesn't really know how to do their job, which, you know, it's just like any profession you're gonna have, people don't know how to do their job. And maybe someone did know how to do their job, maybe they just weren't paying attention. I have no idea what happened, but National Weather Service lacrosse fumbled the ball. I mean, seriously fortunate that tornado wasn't in a populated area, because if that tornado was in a more populated area, that could have hurt some people, you know. But you know, thankfully that tornado was literally in the middle of the hills, right? But I'm gonna try to get up to Storm Runner up here and see what they're doing. They're going quick, dude. I'm trying to catch them, but they're going fast. They're going fast. See, if they're speeding, I can't really. It's hard for me to catch them and not try to speed. They're literally right up here. Trying to catch Storm Runner. Come on. storm runner's literally around this curve. I gotta catch him. I gotta catch him, and then I gotta speed past them. The problem is, it's all fun and games, so there's cops and no, but I don't ever speed. You know, if there's a tornado coming at me, yeah, I will speed. But I mean, other than that, I don't ever speed because, well, I don't really like getting tickets because that's happened before and it's not very fun. So. Yeah, road work up here. And I don't know where the heck they're headed to. Keep saying we got road work, but I haven't seen. It's just on the other side of the road. I haven't seen any action on this side of the road. And it looks like they just redid the other side of the highway. Maybe they're getting ready to redo this highway over here. I'm not really sure. Be able to find a motel tonight for like $50 probably, I'm sure. So not bad. Man, there's a microtel for $50. Usually microtels are pretty good. And from my experience at least. Just they're DL and Garrett, they're right in front of me. I just flashed them. There's the storm chasing Forerunner right there. Look at that. Look at that tank of a car. Look at that tank of a car right there. That thing is a hoss. I'm following him like a lost puppy. Yeah, their Wi-Fi booster is flipping around in the wind and everything. That's funny. Yeah, but apparently the Forerunner is going to get retired in a week, so maybe I can get one really crazy tornado under its belt and it'll get retired. But I may just head up to Rochester for the evening, guys. I'm not really sure. Man, they said something. Trying to get neck and neck with them. They're still trying to chase this storm. There's not much of a storm, but there you guys go. There's, look at that whale's mouth over there. I looked DL right in the eyes and I gave him the little, hey, I'm watching you, buddy. I might head up to Rochester though for the night, guys. Guys, I'm gonna head up towards Rochester and then I'm gonna call it a day, okay? I'm gonna get up towards Rochester and then call it a day. Towards Rochester here and then call it. Guys, I'm so tired, man, and I'm tired of these bad storms. That's what I'm tired of. But no, we really should have been on those ones in southeast Wisconsin, and we were just out of position, to be honest with you guys. And I'm gonna head up towards Rochester for the night because Rochester puts me in a position to where if I don't want to chase tomorrow, I can just start heading up towards Minnesota. I mean, I start heading up towards North Dakota and South Dakota. But if I do want to chase tomorrow, either in Minnesota or Wisconsin, then Rochester puts me in a good spot. So either way, I'll be in a solid position there. So, but I'll probably head into Rochester. And I'll probably head into Rochester and in the stream, and yeah. But I'm just gonna start my route there. I'm probably like 20 minutes away or something like that. Yeah, about 15-20 minutes from Rochester here. So. I know Rochester's a pretty decent-sized city, isn't it? So. I don't know how many people does Rochester have, or the metro or something. I don't know. I I gotta look. Let's see. Rochester. What? You gotta be kidding me. There's no way. There's no way Rochester has a 1 million people metro. That's not true. I must be looking at Rochester, New York. Okay. Okay. Rochester, Minnesota has 122K people. So that's just the town itself. I don't know what the metro is, but the okay, Rochester Metro has about 228,000. Okay, that sounds a little bit more realistic than 1 million. I guess the 1 million is in New York, so. So yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic about Friday chase-wise, and I'm optimistic about tomorrow, maybe. We'll see, but we'll see. We'll have to see, but cautious optimism about all of these days. Oh, it's already 6 o'clock. It's already 6 o'clock. Actually, today's gone by pretty slow, I feel like. It's been a slow going day here. Here up in the next 10, 15, 20 minutes, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end everything on the, well, I'm going to end everything on the stream. I'm going to end everything stream-wise, and then we will have to, tonight, I'm going to have to do some thinking and some model breakdown and some forecasting for tomorrow as well as Friday. But man, I'm sorry I was not on the right storm today. That was just a mental lapse by me. I guess it kind of made sense because the storms that were the right storms like were starting to die, and then before they became the right storms. So sometimes it's just hard to tell, guys. Storm chasing is hard. It's not easy. It's very hard. Sometimes it's very hard. Sometimes it's the easiest thing in the world, but a lot of these setups are not easy to figure out, so. I think DL's behind me, following me, so. DL and Garrett. G-Man. G-Money. G-Money. Garrett Thompson. What a Chad. What a Sigma. Yeah, you got DL. DL and Garrett, the two nicest people in the world, probably. I don't know. That's a high bar, but I think they might reach that one. I remember countless times they've helped me out. Helped Connor out as well when we were chasing last year together too. Helped us get out of the mud. Or at least attempted to. right by Rochester International. Yeah, Rochester's a pretty decent-sized metro, isn't it? So, I don't know, guys. I'm going to stop somewhere at a gas station up here, and we'll call it a day. We'll stop somewhere up here on the edge of Rochester, and we'll call it a day here, so... I'll probably stop up at this like little strip mall up here or something. I'll figure it out. I may end up staying. I don't know. I found a microtel for like $55, and that's not terrible. I'll take it. I'll take a motel for $55, especially if I'm going to be staying there for like all the way through tomorrow morning. And I don't have to like leave really early. But I found a microtel for $55. If I don't end up doing that, what I will do is I'll probably crash with Garrett and DL somewhere, wherever they end up. So we'll just have to see. But either way, I'll do one of those two things. But I don't know what Garrett and DL are going to do tonight or tomorrow. It sounds like they're probably going to stay somewhere up in this area, but who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Definitely not me. Turn in about 2.5 miles onto another exit. Oh, well, that wasn't much of a tornado chase for us. There were tornadoes in Minnesota. I don't think Iowa had any tornadoes, but Minnesota had quite a few tornadoes, so I didn't clickbait anything because there were tornadoes, but I just wasn't on them, and it sucks. It sucks, but a little bit of it was just a very hard forecast. And then the other part of it was I kind of botched it. So a little bit of both. A little bit of, okay, it was a hard forecast. And then a little bit of, yeah, I just botched that one. So sometimes it's just how it goes. But there's some of that going on. There's still a tornado warning near La Crosse. Maybe just to the south. That storm looks like it's kind of outflow dominant over there, but I still wouldn't rule out a spin-up tornado near La Crosse because the wind shear is just that good, so I wouldn't rule it out. But kind of a crappy chase today, but you know what? That honestly, after absolute banger chases, just back to back to back, after some crazy chases just right in a row, I mean, I feel like it only makes sense to have a kind of a meh one, you know. It was coming. It was coming. You can only, you know, here's the deal, guys. You can only have so many good chases in a row before you just get a meh chase, but you can only have so many good chases in a row before it just becomes meh. So today could have been a good chase. And here's the deal, though. Even if I was on the right storm up to the east, I don't know if I even would have saw anything. It was in the middle of a forest. I probably wouldn't have had service to even stream anything and whatnot. So I don't know. But all right, guys, I'm going to kind of stop it up. I'm going to stop the car up here and then just I'm going to stop the car up here and end the stream. But I really do appreciate everybody for tuning in. And I know it wasn't what we wanted, but all right, so I'm going to go ahead and let me see how fast I can connect to my laptop here, though. You know, if I had to guess, since I'm already out here, I think there's a good shot I'll be live tomorrow. Don't bank on it 100%, guys, but I'll send some kind of message out. I forgot to do that today, but tomorrow I'll send some kind of message out in the morning and let you guys know what my plans are. But I'll send some kind of message out in the morning and let you guys know. What's up, everybody? I don't know who sent me the $20 super chat, or at least I have $20 worth of super chat. So whoever sent me the super chat, greatly appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Greatly appreciate the super chat, guys. Let me check and make sure nobody sent me a Venmo or anything like that. I don't want to miss anybody. I don't know how to go back and look at who sent what. I don't even know if I have that option. Whoa, there we go. Dag Fizz, again. Can't stick around. Saw you were live and wanted to drop in and support here, dude. Dag Fizz, again, with the $20. Thank you so much, Dag Fizz. WWW. W in the chat for Fizz. W's in the chat. But almost 500 likes for a stream that was kind of crappy. So, I mean, I can't complain. It wasn't the greatest stream. So, I wish we would have been on the right stuff, but it is what it is. It is what it is. That's one of my favorite sayings, you know. It is what it is. Hold on, guys. Give me just a second before I end this. But I appreciate everybody who tuned in. Yeah, I saw that Dag Fizz sent it. So I just had to scroll up a little bit and see. But appreciate all you guys in the chat. And on that note, I will see everybody tomorrow for hopefully a better chase. I will send out a message probably sometime around lunchtime, or I'll probably schedule a stream as well. But appreciate you guys, and I will see everybody on the next